Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. This is our first policy podcast of the season. Get really used to seeing me giving you updates each week as we kind of navigate this next legislative session. So the first thing I wanted to say is thank you to everyone who came out for LEAD. We think it was a smashing success made possible by you. I have had the opportunity to talk to several different reps and senators since, and they were thrilled that you all came and spoke with them, and they've asked us questions. I believe CCADV might have picked up a bill sponsor for medical mandated, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me. You'll have to ask Lydia. And I just want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules to stand with us in solidarity at the Capitol and to support survivors in a different type of advocacy role than maybe what we usually do. I know that it was a great help to both Lydia and I really appreciate everyone taking the time to do that. My second kind of announcement for our group is the email that I sent out concerning the threat to VAWA. The email was called "This is not a drill" because this is not a drill. So in that email, what you will find is contact information for your member of Congress. And I hope and encourage that you are able to contact those members, whether it be by phone, email, voicemail, carrier pigeon message, I don't know, however you want to send the message to them that these funds make possible the vital support services for survivors that you provide every single day. So the new administration's budget blueprint was released, and what it looks like is the proposed elimination of the Office on Violence Against Women, which would then get rid of the 25 different grant programs that basically are your VAWA funds. So there was a report that came out in Time Magazine, and it said it looked at the budgets of each one of the proposed offices that are may be eliminated, and it looked at the budget for that actual office, and then it calculated for each American how much money does each American pay to sustain those programs. And to sustain VAWA, it costs every American $1.48, which I think if you looked at your local vending machine is literally less than a packet of Skittles. So we don't think that this is a big ask to sustain this program, especially considering the services that are offered through VAWA, the hotline, community-based advocacy services, going to hospitals in the middle of the night, your programs for marginalized and underserved communities. I mean, this is kind of like our life force. And we at the Coalition will do everything we can to fight and protect VAWA, but we need your help. So if you didn't get the email, please reach out to me or to Rosa, our communications manager, and we will make sure that you have all the information you need to reach out to your member of Congress. And lastly, I think what I want to touch on today is that we have a scheduled hearing for our housing bill, which is really exciting. It is going to be on February 7th at 1:30 in the House Judiciary Committee. Representative Jackson from Aurora is the champion of this bill. She is a complete rock star, let me tell you. There was a moment where we were hearing from opposition, and we were hearing that they didn't understand why a survivor might not access law enforcement as a pathway to safety. And they made a couple of real cutting remarks, and Representative Jackson kind of just very directly and bluntly looked at them and said, well, the reason that a survivor might not access the criminal justice system is because they may be an immigrant, and that is not your lived experience, and that's why you don't understand why someone may not be able to access law enforcement. It was an incredible moment as someone who was just kind of sitting at the table staring off from the sidelines to see that I really think we have the right sponsor for this bill. She gets it. She wants to help us create new pathways to safety for survivors, and we want to support her efforts to do that, to ensure that this bill passes. Now, the opposition to the bill is the Apartment Association, and they are concerned about the landlord's rights and about fraudulent claims and about people abusing this statute if it were to be written into law. And so I think what we need is to share the collective experience of survivor stories and of advocate stories. And as we as advocates have been working in the field and continue to run into these barriers of housing and safe housing options for the survivors that we work with. So I am asking you all to stand with me in solidarity to come testify at the Capitol to support this bill and share stories of what it has been like working with survivors and not be able to help them find safe housing. What it has been like to be an actual survivor stuck in a lease where you no longer feel safe because possibly your perpetrator lives in the same apartment complex as you, where you don't have the financial means to break your lease and leave, so you're having to choose between safety and employment or school, or I mean, we're hearing multiple stories from across the state of how this is affecting survivors, and we really think that this is a top priority for us. You know, it kind of reminds me, so I was able to go to the Women's March in DC last weekend, and there were amazing speakers. Gloria Steinem being one of them, and she made this comment in addressing the crowd and thanking the crowd for coming to DC. She said, "Thank you for understanding that we sometimes need to place our bodies where our beliefs are." And I offer that statement to you all to join us at the Capitol and to put your bodies where your beliefs are. I know that you are the frontline workers who support and advocate on behalf of survivors every single day. And now I'm asking you to join me once more at the Capitol so that we can really solidify this bill into legislation and we can help survivors stay safe. So I think that's it from me. More to come. There's like 1,000 bills that we're looking at that are being proposed right now. And so as we sift through them, I will continue to give you updates and we will continue to fight for VAWA. We will continue to fight for survivors at the State House. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.